The Raiders, Tim, have won the toss and will receive Terry Kirby, fourth in the AFC, averaging over 25 yards per return, awaiting the opening kickoff.
Raiders have excellent special teams led by Coach Bob Casulo, who told me right before the game, he said, you know, Al Davis spends a lot of time in my office personally going through the special teams.
Watching film?
Watching film. They had their first kick returned against them for a touchdown a couple weeks ago again when they played San Diego here. And that's the first time that had happened in many, many years to either Casulo or the Raiders.
Ronnie Jenkins brought one back against the Raiders. Bill Gramatica gets things started. A short kickoff. Bounces back to the 7. Kirby slips and is taken down at the 12-yard line. Only a 5-yard return as Rich Gannon, who has the best quarterback rating in the NFL, leads the 8th-ranked Raiders offense onto the field. Barry Sims playing with a screw in his left foot. Collins returned last week following a right leg injury. The Hall of Fame duo of Brown and Rice, the Raider receivers Garner and Ritchie. In the backfield, and the tight end is the former Ram, Roland Williams. Raiders start from the 12-yard line. On first down, Charlie Garner has the first down and more. He gained 38 yards on the first play from scrimmage last week against the Giants. Today, 17 yards.
Cardinals defense is in a terrible fix. They have to cover the receivers. They've got their safeties back, and now Charlie Garner is starting us out in Charlie Garner form. Accelerating, great acceleration, and look at the moves once he gets through the line of scrimmage to ensure the first down. I would not want to be Dave McGinnis or the Cardinals defense today. They really are in a no-win situation.
Raiders with so many offensive weapons. The pitch to Garner. Looks to cut it outside. And he's met in the backfield by Ray Thompson. A loss of 3 on the play. As we check out the 30th ranked Cardinals defense, an injury depleted front 4. Thomas Burke is out. Mario Fatafehi is out. So Jabari Issa makes his 5th start of the year. Rob Frederickson, the former Raider, returning, missed last week's game with a knee injury. Tom Knight, the left cornerback, was questionable due to a hamstring problem, but Knight making the start for the Cardinals. Gannon on 2nd and 13 with time, and the pass is caught out at the 35-yard line for a gain of 9 to the tight end Roland Williams, setting up 3rd down and 4.
And we got to see there just how well Rich Gannon is operating this offense. He wants to go outside to Tim Brown, so he takes a hitch there. It's not there because there's coverage over the top and underneath. He goes immediately to Roland Williams. That's there. Gannon delivers the ball. Great efficiency.
Gannon completing close to 66% of his passes this year. 2nd only to Kurt Warner. 3rd down and 4. Quick drop. Gannon surveying. Can't find anyone. He takes off and is close to the marker. Looks just shy. So Gannon, who has already rushed for 15 first downs this year, does not get it this time.
Kenny, watch the job Corey Chavis does jamming Tim Brown at the line of scrimmage. Watch this right here. Wham! It's that jam. It takes the timing away, and when Rich Gannon came back to throw to Brown, watch him here. See him look? He's got nowhere to go. So he takes it down. He tries to run for the first down, but is unsuccessful. That's a great effort by the Cardinals defense and great coverage by Corey Chavis.
Gannon needed 4. He gained 3. Booming kick by Shane Leckler, forcing Arnold Jackson all the way back to the 7. And Jackson taken down at the 19-yard line after a 12-yard return, a 54-yard punt by Leckler.
Kenny, I said right from the beginning of this game that the Cardinals will want to use their deep passing game to stretch out the Raiders defense. Raiders defense has struggled this year stopping the run. they're going to come up, they're going to play it aggressively and try to take it away. And I think when you have that, you want to stretch the safety, stretch the DBs by throwing the ball deep early.
Cardinals start from their own 18-yard line. Off the play fake, Plummer on first down, scrambles, and steps out of bounds at the 24-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, Jake was looking to go deep, but Eric Allen had the coverage on David Boston. Watch this right here. Here it is. This thing's in sync. Eric Allen does a super job of covering up Boston, and then by the time Boston is able to break free, Jake's under too much pressure. Plummer does a nice job using his legs to pick up positive yardage.
Gain of 6 on the play, setting up 2nd and 4. 3 wide receivers set for the Cardinals. Plummer fumbles. Raiders have it.
That you cannot afford to do against a bad team, and you certainly can't afford to do it against the Oakland Raiders, who are red hot 8-2. Watch Jake. He's just going to fumble the ball himself. It's just he just mishandles it before he can even hand it off to Michael Pittman. That is an error by Jake Plummer, and Greg Biekert, the inside linebacker, is the guy who's in there quick enough and reacts well enough to pick it up.
So the Raiders get the ball right back at the Cardinals 23. Garner up the middle inside the 15, a gain of 9 as we welcome those of you who watch the Chicago Bears and Detroit Lions, a 13-10 victory for the 9-2 Bears.
Well, the Raiders started out and they were shut down pretty quickly by Arizona's defense. They did a nice job of making some big plays, but when the Cardinals got the ball back, Jake Plummer fumbled the ball before he could hand it off. Greg Biekert, who you see there, recovered. Now the Raiders are on the doorstep of scoring.
2nd and 1. Here's Garner, has the first down. Brought down by Pat Tillman after a gain of 4.
And this is that power running game that I mentioned earlier. The Raiders are so good in the passing game, and they've got Brown and they've got Rice, that the defense has to focus. And if they can come out and run like this, look at that blocking up front. I mean, that's just power. They're just using the big bodies of Lincoln Kennedy and Mo Collins. You see him there, Adam True. These guys are just controlling the line of scrimmage for that first down.
1st and 10, just outside the 10-yard line.
This is where the Raiders are as good as anyone in the red zone offensively.
Gannon on first down to the near side, and Garner out of bounds at the 5-yard line, forced out by Tom Knight.
Brown and Rice are so good, and the attention and the focus on them is so intense that no one sees Charlie Garner. Look at here. The Cardinals do a pretty decent job of picking up the receivers, but Tommy Knight has to react back underneath to Charlie Garner, and Garner just has too much acceleration.
22 red zone touchdown, 2nd to only the Rams. Gannon calls timeout. Saw something he did not like. 2nd and 3 upcoming from the Arizona Cardinals 4-yard line.
Sunday, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL, official airline at Super Bowl 36.
Has been remarkable here in Oakland. That's, I think, allowed Jerry Rice to flourish.
On 2nd and 3, Tyrone Wheatley is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, so it will be 3rd and 3 for the Raiders.
Tremendous amount of effort. I think it's a testament to head coach Dave McInnes how hard these guys play. They may not be the most talented.
Gannon on 3rd down, touchdown, Tim Brown.
As I said, they may not be the most talented.
'19th touchdown pass of the year for Gannon. 8 of the 19 have gone to Brown.
Tim Brown and Jerry Rice are just too much to contend with.
Sebastian Janikowski for the point after. Raiders capitalized on the Plummer turnover. Gannon to Brown. 7-0 Oakland.
Both cornerbacks right there, and then Tim Brown is absolutely uncovered. See the double on Rice right there? Corey Chavis and Tom Knight both focused on Rice, and so Brown slips to the outside. They make it real easy for Tim Brown. I talked about it a moment ago. I think that it's remarkable how Tim Brown welcomed Jerry Rice and how neither of these guys has complained they need the ball more, they want the ball more, and each of them are the better for it, and the Raiders are the better for it.
Here's Marte Jenkins for the Cardinals. Jenkins across the 25 to the 27-yard line. A 19-yard return, so the Cardinals and Jake Plummer back on offense when we come back. Albert, Jim Green, DJ Johnson back in Oakland. Raiders lead the Cardinals 7-0. Jake Plummer and the Cardinals back to work from their own 27-yard line. Cardinals with 3 wide receivers. They keep it on the ground, and Michael Pittman is stopped. Loss of 2 on the play. William Thomas along with Reagan Upshaw. Jake Plummer third of the NFC in passing yards. The men protecting Plummer. This group has started all 11 Cardinals games. Boston with Marte Jenkins filling in for the injured Frank Sanders. Pittman and Makovica in the backfield. Plummer on second down. Penalty marker on the play. Pass intended for Marte Jenkins. He was wrapped up by Eric Allen.
This is the kind of break the Arizona Cardinals are really going to need today to win this game. I mean, I said at the beginning, they're going to need an emotional letdown by the Raiders, and they're going to need turnovers, not their own turnovers.
Pass interference, 21 defense. Automatic first down.
Here's the isolation, Eric Allen on Marte Jenkins, and you're going to see he grabs him. Not much of a grab, but enough to impede Marte Jenkins' ability to catch the ball. And that's all it takes.
Eric Allen, the former Arizona State Sun Devil, 13-yard penalty. First down from the 38. Here's Pittman up to the 41-yard line. A gain of 3. Tony Bryant made the stop for the 14th-ranked Oakland defense. Upshaw with Russell, Jackson, and Bryant up front. Thomas, the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, following his 11-tackle game against the Giants. Charles Woodson did not practice all week due to an injured toe, but is in there for the Raiders. Second down and 7 from the 41. Plummer over the middle for Pittman. A gain of 5, tackled by Elijah Alexander. So 3rd and 2 coming up for the Cardinals.
That was a nice decision by Jake Plummer. Remember, I said Plummer over the last 2 weeks, he's put his best 2 weeks together as a professional. Raiders drop, they've got 2 deep safeties, so there's nothing deep downfield. So he dumps this off to Pittman underneath. And it's not the first down, but it's positive yardage.
Sets up a short yardage situation. 3rd down and 2. From the 46.
They show a passing formation now.
Plummer takes off, has the first down across midfield, a gain of 4.
Kenny, this is something I think Jake Plummer needs to do a little bit more. Over the last 2 weeks, he's been very good in the passing game, but I think at times when it hasn't been there, he's hesitated to run the ball. You know, he's being re-educated. He's learning a new offense. He's learning to read defenses and follow sequences downfield. But this is a great sign for Jake Plummer because when it's there, he has the athleticism and the ability to pick up first downs on the ground.
Pittman wants to cut outside. Has the first down and more. Pittman off to the races. Dorsett could not bring him down. He's forced out of bounds at the 8-yard line after a gain of 42 yards.
And this has been the bane of the Oakland Raiders, not only of their defense, but their entire team, is the running game. They are last in the National Football League in rush average, and you see the great blocking there. Pete Kendall gets one on William Thomas. You see some penetration and over-aggressiveness in the middle of the field, and so once Pittman breaks to the outside of the field, there's no one there. Excellent run by Pittman.
Longest run of the season for the Cardinals. Here's Thomas Jones, first-round pick last year from Virginia, and Jones gains 3 down to the 5.
There you can see that not only have the Raiders defensively struggled with the run all season, but the last 3 games, I mean, this is pitiful. 6.4 yards a carry for the opposition, and it's above that right now because of that long Michael Pittman run. Here, I think you want to use this guy right here and get the ball in his hands.
Thomas Jones up the middle, and he is in for the touchdown.
Wow. That is remarkable. I mean, they just took it right to the Raiders. 2 run plays, the long one by Pittman and this touchdown by Jones, and they're just blocking up front. And I got to tell you, Leonard Davis is really going to be one of the best, maybe the best offensive lineman potentially in the National Football League. He's not there yet, but he made a block that cleared the way for Jones on that last play that was fantastic.
Bill Gramatica ties the game at 7. The key play, the 42-yard run by Pittman, and then Thomas Jones brings.
Two things happen on the Cardinals touchdown. One is Leonard Davis has a great block. 2, Darrell Russell stands straight up, and look at the size of that hole. There's Russell right there. Russell, and I mean, it's just great blocking, domination at the line of scrimmage by the Cardinals offensive line over the Raiders defensive line.
21-yard return by Terry Kirby, brought down by the Cardinals' Adrian Wilson. Michael Pittman on the right, the 42-yard run, which set up the 5-yard touchdown run by Thomas Jones. Now the Raiders go back to work offensively from their own 31-yard line. Just over 5 minutes remaining, first quarter from Oakland. Gannon to the air. First down, he hits the tight end out of the back, or the fullback out of the backfield, John Ritchie, for a gain of 7. As we check in with James Brown. JB.
Hey, Kenny, Tampa Bay won back-to-back games for the first time this year thanks to Corey Dillon's fumble on his own 3. The Bucs capitalized when Gramatica bangs home that 21-yarder to win it in overtime, improving to 6-5. Back to Kenny and Tim.
All right, thanks very much, JB. So the Buccaneers, they beat the Rams on Monday with an overtime victory today, as the Raiders pick up the first down. A 7-yard pass play from Gannon to Jerry Rice.
Interesting what the Cardinals are doing defensively. On this last play, they only rushed 3 guys. They rushed these 3 here, and they drop 8 into the coverage. And so what they're doing is they're enabling the cornerbacks on the outside to have help against Tim Brown and Jerry Rice, and then they've got a lot of other guys filling up the zones underneath.
Frank Middleton has replaced Bo Collins at right guard. Garner, good second effort, but he gains just 2 out to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, Marcus Bell was waiting for him there, and I talked earlier when the Raiders were down in the red zone getting ready to score about the effort that you get from the Cardinals defenders. I mean, they have lost so many guys. This is their 11th game and the 11th new starting lineup for their defense. There's Maltosi. They've got Fred Wakefield in there. They've got Bell. They've got Russell Davis. It's just been a complete mix and match all season long.
Gannon with time, and the pass is caught in Cardinals territory by Tim Brown for a gain of 19.
Kwame Lassiter just gives Tim Brown too much space. But that's what Tim Brown does to you. You have to respect him. There's the underneath coverage. So Tom Knight's got it under. Lassiter's got it over the top. And he's way over the top because Tim Brown scares everyone, because he can take it to the house at any play. And so when you're a safety, it's awful tough. It's easy to stand up here and say, play Tim Brown tighter. It's a lot harder down there when you're looking at 81.
From the Cardinals 36, off the play fake, Kwame Lassiter with his 8th interception, and only the 3rd thrown by Gannon all season.
And a rare, very rare mistake by the Raiders quarterback, who had less interceptions than anyone, only 2 this season, and he throws this, he dishes this right up to Lassiter. Here's Rowan Williams. Lassiter's sitting right there. It's as if Rich Gannon did not see Kwame Lassiter. Gannon read a cover 2 like a 2 deep and thought Lassiter was going to be over the top of the wide receiver. Excellent heads-up play.
An early birthday present for Lassiter, who will turn 32 tomorrow. For Gannon, only the 2nd interception he has thrown in his last 318 pass attempts. Plummer's pass batted and nearly picked off by a diving William Thomas.
Raiders right now playing that aggressive defense that really they're known for. And I think that aggressiveness has hurt them at times in the run game, as we saw earlier when Pittman scrambled for 45 yards. This time it pays off. They crowd the line of scrimmage. They make their cornerbacks play man-to-man on the outside receivers. And it looks like they're setting up to do the same thing again right now.
2nd and 10 from the 9-yard line. And a penalty marker. Loss of 1 on the play. On the run by Pittman. But his face mask may have been grabbed hold of.
I think Darrell Russell may have gotten, and this may be Darrell Russell's last game, at least for a year, because we have been told he tested positive for the use of the drug ecstasy. He will appeal his suspension Thursday with the league. That will go to an arbitrator. And what he's going to try to do is contend that he did not have notification.
5-yard penalty, Oakland. It'll still be 2nd down.
Now 5 yards because it was an inadvertent penalty, but Russell will try to contend that he didn't have notification that ecstasy was added to the banned substance list, which it recently was. However, I've talked to some people inside the team who know about, the whole thing, and it is possible, because some doctors have not notified their patients or their subjects, and the doctor is the ultimate person in the control of these situations. Once you're on probation, once you're in the program.
And remember, Russell already missed the first 4 games this season after he was found in violation of the league's policy. And it's Darrell Russell in the backfield to stop Michael Pittman. A loss of 4 on the play.
And this epitomizes Darrell Russell's career. Watch him here, and watch the great penetration. When Darrell Russell stays low and accelerates, he cannot be blocked. However, on the touchdown play, we saw him stand up, get wheeled out of the way by L.J. Shelton, and give up a touchdown. So he can do anything out there that he wants to. He can be a great player, or he can cost you a touchdown.
He's gone to the Pro Bowl twice. 3rd down and 10. Plummer throwing it out of the end zone, and Pittman was wrapped up. Incomplete. Derek Gibson, 1st-round pick out of Florida State, on the coverage.
Derek Gibson does such a nice job of this. He reads it. He slides in front of Anthony Clement. Watch him here. Watch him read. Watch him slide around the block and make this play. That's just using your smarts.
So the Cardinals unable to capitalize following the Kwame Lassiter interception. Former 49er Chad Stanley punting out of his own end zone. This is David Dunn into Arizona territory. Flag on the play. And a hat thrown as well. A 43-yard punt by Stanley, 7 yards On the return, Sekou Sanyika made the stop.
Holding 86 of the kicking team. That penalty is declined.
On the Cardinals 45. Charlie Garner gains just one on the play, setting up second down and 9. Well, next week it's another full day of NFL action, beginning with the undisputed champion of pregame shows, Fox NFL Sunday. On Fox, 3 wide receivers on second and 9. Gannon fires, caught for a first down by Jerry Porter. His 10th catch of the season, good for a gain of 19.
This is a great lesson as to what is open and what is not open, because most people would say that Tommy Knight has the coverage on Porter here, but he has just enough inside position, and Rich Gannon is so experienced, and he has such an accurate pass that he delivers it in there. And see Tommy Knight saying, holy smokes, you know, what more can I do?
And that does it for the first quarter from Oakland, with the Cardinals and the Raiders tied at 7. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages. As we welcome you back, Kenny Albert with Tim Green. A big run set up the Cardinals score.
And I think initially it looked like maybe the Raiders, especially defensively, were having an emotional letdown when they let the Cardinals drive down and run the ball in. But then after Rich Gannon's interception, the Raiders defense answered by just absolutely stuffing the Cardinals offense.
Tyrone Wheatley gains 2 yards on first down. 2nd and 8 upcoming.
Now, of course, the Raiders are back on the move, and they wanted to try to pound the ball today on the ground. And I think so far, the Arizona defense has done a really fine job of limiting the Raiders' run game. So you may see the Raiders now have to get back to the thing they do best, and that is throw to these great wide receivers.
2nd and 8. Gannon looking for Jerry Rice. Incomplete.
Well, there's good coverage on this play. Good enough with Corey Chavis underneath, Kwame Lassiter over the top to force Rich Gannon to throw this just out of the reach of Jerry Rice. Just.
That was the first pass from Gannon, which hit the ground. He had been 7 of 8 with the 1 interception.
I think they want to stay with that, though. Keep throwing to Rice and Brown.
Gannon on 3rd and 8, looking for Jerry Porter in the end zone, but he could not pull it in.
Hey, that's well done by Tommy Knight. You know, Tommy Knight didn't even know if he was going to play in today's game, and he struggled. He's come back from an injury over the past couple weeks. He's looked rusty, but look at him here. He's running step for step with Jerry Porter, and Jerry Porter's strength as a receiver is his speed. So a very commendable play by Tommy Knight.
Sebastian Janikowski has missed only 1 field goal this year. That was a 59-yard attempt. This from 41.
They got it. They blocked it.
Cardinals got a piece of it. So Janikowski now 18 of 20 on the season. Cardinals will take over. So the Cardinals start from their own 31-yard line. Off the play fake. Pass off the fingertips of Michael Pittman. That happened to Pittman twice last week.
Yeah, hey, Kenny, look back at this block. Watch Fred Wakefield right there. Look at that, right there. It's like I got a coach's clicker like John Madden. I don't, but it's just the tape guys. But look at that. Beautiful effort by Wakefield. He's 6'7", and you talk about scrappy. Wakefield is a defensive lineman, an undrafted rookie free agent who is starting for the Cardinals. And he scored a touchdown a couple weeks ago against Detroit. He's made a lot of big plays.
The University of Illinois. Here's Pittman on 2nd down. Round right into Greg Meeker. No gain on the play.
Well, right now, the Raiders defensively are challenging. They are flat demanding that the Cardinals try to throw the ball because they're putting Marquez Pope up. Look at Pope. They've got 8 men up in the line of scrimmage. They're penetrating. They're controlling the line. They are not going to let the Cardinals run. And if they show that kind of a defensive formation, my goodness, you have to audible, and you have to throw downfield to Marte Jenkins or especially David Boston. You have to put the game in your quarterback's hands.
Plummer just 1 of 4 so far. Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Plummer's pass caught by...
Look, it's just a simple crossing route. So Eric Allen's thinking, you know, what the heck? It's just underneath. He can't get the first down, but he does. Because Boston, as big as he is, as strong as he is, he has great acceleration. Look at the move here. How about that spin move on Charles Woodson?
Remember what Dave McGinnis told us yesterday on 3rd and long, you don't have to go for the long pass. You can go for the short pass and then the run.
When you've got David Boston, you can. He's 240 pounds.
Well, the Raiders 48. The end around to Boston. He took the handoff from Pittman, but he loses 4 yards on the play. Tackled by the 3rd-year linebacker from Maryland, Eric Martin.
This is a play that's tough to run against a fast defense, and Grady Jackson really makes this happen. Watch Grady Jackson here. Look at that great upfield penetration. He does just what he should do. He drives Boston deeper than he wants to go. Boston wants to run straight. Grady Jackson makes him curve it, and then the rest of his speed defense can catch up. Nice job by Grady.
Boston's 4th carry of the season. Plummer on 2nd and 14, complete. Marte Jenkins has the first down, a gain of 15 yards on the play to the Raiders 37.
Well, the other area that the Raiders defense has struggled has been pass rush. They lost Trace Armstrong early. Look at this protection here. Outstanding job by the Cardinals' big offensive line to give Jake time. A nice job by Jenkins to find the soft spot in the zone.
Jenkins replacing Frank Sanders, missing a game for the first time in his NFL career.
Look out!
Michael Pittman again. Forced out of bounds at the 15-yard line, a gain of 22.
John Gruden told us yesterday that he wants his defense to play team defense. There's too much vigilantism out there, too many individuals, people not attending to their specific responsibilities. Watch the blocking here, and this thing is just blocked perfectly by the Cardinals. No one fills that gap off tackle. And they're making Michael Pittman look like a Pro Bowler.
He has runs of 42 and 22 yards. Thomas Jones. Jones down to the 5-yard line. A gain of 10 for Jones, who scored the Cardinals' touchdown in the first quarter.
Man, they have got the Raiders' defense on their heels right now. They open it up with the pass. They force the safeties to loosen up. And right now, the front 7 is being eaten alive by this Cardinals offensive line.
Cardinals have had great success in the red zone over their last 3 games after struggling to get it in their first 8.
Well, they ran it in last time.
Here's Jones on 1st and goal. He's close. No signal from the officials. Stopped just short by Marquez Pope and Anthony Dorsett. Gain of 4, so it will be 2nd and goal from about the half-yard line.
They're just blocking. They're out blocking the Raiders on the line. Excellent blocking up front. Watch this hole. Look at the blocks here. Look at the blocks here. Look at this hole open up. Makovica gets a block. There's a nice hole, and then Jones runs right through Anthony Dorsett and Elijah Alexander.
Pittman, the lone back. Michael Pittman. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Again, it's blocking up front. Watch this Cardinals offensive line. They're blocking, they stay with their blocks, and Michael Pittman stays with the run. When it looks like he's stopped, he continues to push. He finds another seam. And that is a blow, a serious blow to this Raiders defense.
It has started to pour here in Oakland. The skies have opened up. So has the offensive line of the Arizona Cardinals.
Back in Oakland, Cardinals score again and again. The Cardinals just jam the ball down the Raiders' defense's throats. Running the ball. Pittman and Thomas Jones combination to punch it in. And the Raiders' Achilles heel all season long has been their run defense.
Well, the Cardinals with a 14-7 lead. As Kirby scoops up Gramatica's kickoff at the 14. 10-yard return out to the 24.
Everyone is talking about the Raiders and the Raiders being, the most likely team to win in the AFC. And, we listened to Howie Long and Terry Bradshaw argue about it in the pregame show, and of course Bradshaw says it's Pittsburgh, and I think Howie pointed out whichever one of those teams has the home field advantage may be the AFC champion. But if John Gruden's team is going to be an AFC champion, they're going to have to somehow find a way to mend their run defense.
Steelers now 9-2, Raiders 8-2. As Garner is forced back on his first down carry.
And, again, it's effort. I mean, Baron Tanner is a huge man. He's not the quickest guy. He's not the most agile guy. But on that play there, he just gets in a sumo wrestling match with Mo Collins. Watch him here, and there's Mo Collins there. And he just stays with it. I mean, Collins is up under his pads, and he just stays with it and stuffs up the hole.
Garner only 5 yards on his last 4 carries. Gannon on second down, and the pass batted down.
It may have been Fred Wakefield again. In fact, it was Fred Wakefield. So we've seen him block a punt 2 weeks ago. We saw him score a touchdown, and this time he knocks down Rich Gannon's pass. Again, 6'7". Again, not very much speed at all. Not drafted because of a lack of speed, but effort by the Cardinals defenders.
3 wide receivers set on 3rd and 10. Gannon escapes. Now throws to the near side. John Ritchie got the pass incomplete, and the Raiders will be forced to punt.
And this time it's Marcus Bell. Arizona, again, they've struggled rushing the passer. They're not an incredibly talented group, but man, I love in this league when effort can overcome talent. That's what's happening right now with the Cardinals defenders.
Shane Leckler punting for the second time. It's another good one. Forcing Jackson back to the 6. Arnold Jackson down the sideline. Into Raiders territory. And he's forced out by the punter Leckler. Penalty marker on the field. A 54-yard return. Longest of the season for the rookie out of Louisville, Arnold Jackson.
We said right from the start, the Raiders are one of the best teams in the game right now. And for Arizona to win, they needed an emotional letdown and they needed turnovers. And I've got to tell you,
53 kicking team illegally downfield.
A return this big by Arnold Jackson is almost as good as a turnover.
54 yards on the return and hugs from his head coach. The Arizona Cardinals with a 14-7 lead, and they are doing it on the ground.
Yeah, look at, normally they only get 86 yards a game. They've already got 89 today, and then this is their average, 3.5 today, 5.6. And it's been Pittman who's gotten most of it. It's also been Thomas Jones down in the red zone.
Lover's pass incomplete, intended for the tight end, Steve Bush.
Well, they started this drive off inauspiciously with the incomplete pass we just saw, but the other 2 drives where they've scored have gone this way. It's gone Michael Pittman breaking through the Raiders defense early, and then Thomas Jones punching in the red zone, and then Michael Pittman breaking through the Raiders defense, and then Thomas Jones punching it into the end zone. So Michael Pittman on the sideline right now.
2nd and 10. Plummer swings it out to Jones. Jones weaving his way for another Cardinals first down. A gain of 11.
Woo! Wow. How about the move Thomas Jones lays on Elijah Alexander? I mean, that was some kind of slipperiness. I mean, I know Jake is the snake, but watch Thomas Jones. Watch him just lay this thing out. Watch him just, whoa, man. That was a nice move by Jones.
Jones gained 11. And the Cardinals first down. From the Raiders 28. Jones gains a yard on the play. Darrell Russell tripped him up. Jones broke all of Tiki Barber's rushing records at the University of Virginia. He was the 7th overall draft pick last year, but has not won the starting job from Pittman. But today we've seen them both become major factors for the Cardinals.
There's no question Thomas Jones has physical talent. But the one thing that he's not had is confidence. And he's dropped the ball, and he's not run with decisiveness. But he's running decisively today. So he's the kind of player that could instantly reemerge.
Plummer on 2nd and 9. Penalty marker as Boston gets separation from Allen and makes the catch.
How about the strength is incredible. We're talking about it all. Linebacker strength. Watch him here. He runs a pattern. Eric Allen's got a hold of him. He bangs into him. This is a timing pattern.
Defense, number 21. The penalty is declined.
Boston is so strong, it's as if no one touched him. But Eric Allen was all over it. That's how strong he is. He added 20 pounds in the offseason. 20 pounds. And he just did it by sheer determination and hard work and dedication to the game.
18-yard pass play. Cardinals decline the pass interference penalty. 2nd against Eric Allen today. Jones. Gain of 1. Charles Woodson came up to make the stop.
That's the kind of effort the Raiders defense needs. They need that from Woodson. They need it from Eric Allen. They need to play not only good run defense up front in their line and their linebackers, but they need their secondary to get involved in it too. If the Raiders are going to be able to play better run defense, it needs to be all 11 guys. They have to stay in their gaps. They have to be disciplined. They have to tackle, and they have to run to the football, the way the Cardinals defense runs to the ball.
2nd and goal from the 9. Plummer fires end zone. Another flag. Allen again. This time wrapped up Marte Jenkins.
That'll be Eric Allen's 3rd on the day. One of them was declined, and Eric Allen saying, I don't know about this. Maybe it wasn't Eric Allen. Is that possible? It may be. Maybe it was a linebacker holding the tight end. That's possible. We'll see.
Holding. 58 defense.
Yes.
Half the distance. Automatic. First down.
I was going to say, that didn't look like interference by Eric Allen.
Elijah Alexander called for the hold.
Yeah, Elijah Alexander, look at that. There it is right there. Just crossed our face. He practically tackled Steve Bush.
First and goal. Thomas Jones. Jones down to the 3-yard line, wrapped up by Marquez Pope.
That was a good swarm. Good swarm by Pope. Good swarm by Chris Cooper. Darrell Russell was there as well. That's what they have to do. They have the talent. I mean, these guys have the talent. They've got the speed and the strength. They just need to apply it on every play. Play after play.
Jason Starkey, a backup center, has reported as an eligible receiver, number 50. 2nd and goal from the 3. Pittman hit back at the 10-yard line by Travian Smith.
Smith just busts right through. Watch him right here. Joel Makovicka thinks that maybe he should block him. but he doesn't. He can't even get a hand. The acceleration is so quick by Smith that he's past Makovica and he's past Pete Kendall, who's the trap blocker on the play.
Loss of 7 yards on the play. Now 3rd and goal from the 10. Plummer from the shotgun.
Oh, nicely defended.
William Thomas makes the tackle on Tywan Mitchell at the 5-yard line, so the Cardinals send out the field goal unit.
This is about movement by William Thomas. William Thomas has man-to-man coverage on the running back, and when he sees the play, he does an excellent job of getting inside the blockers. Watch him. Here he is right here, and he sees his play set up, and watch what he does. I mean, he just gets right behind Leonard Davis to make this tackle.
So a 23-yard field goal attempt for Bill Gramatica, the hero last week. And Gramatica has now connected on 9 in a row. The Cardinals' lead is 10 points. Back in Oakland, Cardinals now lead the Raiders 17-7, a 9-play drive set up by the 55-yard punt return by Jackson.
The big thing was the David Boston pass, and then the big thing for the Raiders was keeping Arizona to a field goal. They did a great job in the red zone. The Cardinals at one point were on the 1.
Terry Kirby, 17-yard return out to the 39 before he was tackled by Marte Jenkins.
Well, I think the Raiders' plan to come into this game and pound the ball so far has failed. And the thing that has worked for the Raiders has been what's worked for them all season long, and that's the passing game. That's where they've had the most success. And I would be surprised if they didn't return to that.
Gannon, 8 of 12, 81 yards. Gannon to the air on first down, and the pass incomplete, intended for Jerry Rice.
But Tommy Knight is doing an excellent job. I mean, think about it. Coming into this game, I tell you, you've got Tommy Knight, and he's been hurt. He's got a bad hamstring. He's struggled this season, and he's got to cover Jerry Rice. And so far, we've seen Tommy Knight doing a very nice job on Rice, on Porter, on Brown as well.
Gannon back on second down, and the pass deflected this time by Baron Tanner.
That's the second Rich Gannon pass that we've seen knocked down. Actually, I think it may have been Fred Wakefield that just kind of knocks Steve Wisniewski back into this pass.
Third down.
Or no, it slips right out of his hand, maybe. Yeah, it was just a bad handling of the ball by Rich Gannon.
So Gannon just 2 of his last 8 after he started the game, 6 for 6. Gannon can't find anyone on third down, and he is brought down at the 42-yard line after a gain of just 3. Marcus Bell made the tackle, and the Raiders once again will punt.
I tell you, I don't know what Fred Wakefield had. Again, effort by these guys up front in Arizona.
Leckler angling this one to the sidelines, keeps it away from Arnold Jackson, who had the big return moments ago. Cardinals will start from their own 27, only a 30-yard punt by Shane Leckler with 2:40 remaining in the second quarter, and the Arizona Cardinals, who have won their last 2 games, surprising the Raiders 17-7.
He researched all the teams in the league. He's a smart guy. He's a pre-med student at Illinois. He researched them, and he found the team that had the most need for defensive ends. He determined it was the Cardinals, and he called them up and said, hey, this is where I want to sign. And he was good enough to sign as a free agent, not fast enough to sign as a draft choice.
First and 10, 27-yard line. Plummer looking for Marte Jenkins. Second and 10 coming up. Well, Tuesday, music's biggest stars will be on Fox. Rice, as you mentioned, he did his research, contacted the Cardinals. Here he is starting as an undrafted rookie. Michael Pittman out to the 30-yard line, a gain of 3. Reagan Upshaw made the stop.
Normally 2nd and 10, you say, why would Arizona run the ball? Because they've been running all day long, and they've had success with it. You look at that. They've run it 21 times. They've passed it 11, and right now they are on top of what many people consider to be the AFC's best team, the Oakland Raiders, at home, where the Raiders have not lost a game in the last 10 at home.
10 straight regular season victories at home. Of course, they did lose to the Ravens here in the AFC Championship game. We've hit the 2-minute warning. Cardinals 17 and the Raiders 7.
Told us that it's because of their focus. Their focus is enhanced on 3rd down because they want to get off the field. There's Pope right there showing blitz.
Plummer to David Boston.
Wow.
Stretches across.
I think he might have gotten it.
7-yard gain on the play and a first down.
Talk about a Herculean effort. This is why you lift weights in the offseason and you work, and it's grueling work, it's thankless work. Look at that. Boston just launches himself, and he picks up 3 yards on the launch.
Plummer for the outside. And a nice catch made by Marte Jenkins for a gain of 8.
Boy, we have seen Marte Jenkins over the past couple of weeks make some really outstanding catches. I mean, he has excellent speed, and at times he catches the ball extremely well. The only thing he lacks is consistency.
2nd and 2. Plummer to Pittman for the first down into Raiders territory, a gain of 5. The Cardinals do have all 3 of their timeouts, and they use the first one right here. Plummer, soft touch to Pittman. Tackled at the 46 by Elijah Alexander, a gain of 4.
Jake Plummer is looking very calm and composed in the pocket. And when he saw the blitz, and the blitz came, it came fast and hard, he just dumped it off to Pittman.
Clock running, Cardinals with 2 timeouts remaining. Plummer to Marte Jenkins. Down to the Oakland 27. A gain of 20.
Wow, this is a beautiful pattern by Marte Jenkins. You know, the thing about it is he knows he's going to get hammered. He knows he's got a safety to the inside. He drives Eric Allen deep, and then he makes that break. He knows Anthony Dorsett's coming with a full head of steam, but he hangs on to that ball, and it's a second nice catch by Marte Jenkins that we've seen in a row. You talk about consistency, and it doesn't take too many catches like he's made in the last 2 to say, you know what, Marte Jenkins has arrived. I mean, if he continues to do that through this game and another game, I think Jake Plummer is going to have a lot of confidence in Jenkins because he certainly has the ability. And if Jake establishes confidence in Marte Jenkins, this is going to be a very dangerous passing offense because you're going to have David Boston on one side. Of course, Frank Sanders is out with the injured hamstrings. And Rob Moore is out. They put him on IR this week. He had a bad hamstring. But Marte Jenkins may provide the solution.
And Jake Plummerton, 8 for his last 9. 9 for his last 10 as the catch is made by Arnold Jackson.
Wow. Talk about composed. Jake Plummer looked like Rich Gannon on that play.
Gain of 16 yards, and Plummer stops the clock with 16 seconds remaining in the half.
Jake Plummer has Rod Coleman all over him on this play. Watch Coleman come right through instantly. And Plummer just dishes it off to Arnold Jackson.
And remember what Plummer told us yesterday? He said Arnold Jackson is like a water bug. He bounces around, he makes guys miss, and if he were playing two-hand touch, nobody would catch him for 20 yards.
Yeah, that was excellent. Look at Plummer on this drive, 6 for 8. You talk about composure and efficiency. He's done it on this drive.
1 timeout remaining, 2nd and goal from the 9. A pump fake, and then Plummer to the outside to the tight end, Terry Hardy, a gain of just 1. Clock stops with 11 seconds remaining. We did the Cardinals-Giants game 3 weeks ago. Leading up to that game, many people around the league felt Plummer would only look towards David Boston. That is no longer the case.
No, he's seeing the field extremely well, but I think this is where you want to look to David Boston. I think down here in the red zone, when you've really only got one play before you have to kick the field goal, you want to go to Boston.
On 3rd and goal, Plummer. Pass was behind the intended receiver, Michael Pittman.
Well, that was a miscue there, and Boston was actually open in the end zone.
So for the second consecutive trip to the red zone, the Cardinals cannot get it into the end zone after scoring 2 earlier touchdowns. And Bill Gramatica, who hit from 23 earlier, out to attempt a 26-yard attempt. Chad Stanley is the holder. And Gramatica is now 2 for 2 as he hits from 26, extending the Cardinals' lead.
Say, well, look at with our offense and our offensive weapons and our quarterback, we're just 2 touchdowns away from a win, not a tie, a win.
Eric Kirby. Kirby brought down at the 35-yard line. 28-yard return, no flag. So the first half has come to an end.
One thing you get the sense of is that Jake Plummer and the Arizona Cardinals don't care that the Oakland Raiders are one of the best teams in the National Football League. They came to play today. They have taken the game absolutely expecting to win. They were not intimidated by the silver and black. And look at Kenny, let's face it. On paper, the Raiders have a superior team. They've got more talent, but they've had an emotional letdown today. Let's see if they get it back here in the second half. They certainly have the firepower to do it if they're determined.
Marte Jenkins fumbled the second half kickoff. As we check in with DJ Johnson, who spoke moments ago with Raiders coach John Gruden.
Do something about it.
What do you do to stop that running game they have going over there?
We got to tackle better. We got to get people in the proper gaps, and we got to play better team defense than that in all phases.
Okay, thanks a lot, Coach. Back up to you, Kenny.
Kenny, what did John Gruden say to us yesterday? A bunch of vigilantes on defense is not what he needed. And he's talking about it again. He needs team defense. And we've seen it at times from this Raiders defense. We've seen him at times blow up the Cardinals offense.
Cardinals start from their own 12 as Pittman spins back to the line of scrimmage. Darrell Russell wrapped him up.
Well, on that play there, Kenny, that's what's typified the Raiders. They've had some big positive, some big negative plays for the Cardinals by penetrating, by creating havoc. But then they've also done that and then had the Cardinals break to the outside on the run or gash them deep with the pass.
Second and 10 for the Cardinals from their own 12-yard line. Off the play fake. Plummer overshoots David Boston.
Again, the Raiders defense holding stand right now, but in the first half you can see that the Cardinals were able to really effectively run the ball. They were able to throw the ball. And look at this first downs. I mean, 16 to the Raiders 6, and then time of possession, which is something the Raiders are always expecting to win, is an area where the Cardinals have won. And then this over here, that's that Rich Gannon kind of inefficiency, only 1 for 5 on 3rd down.
3 wide receivers. And Plummer's pass incomplete, so the Cardinals go 3 and out on the opening drive of the second half.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is about the 5th time the Cardinals have tried to run this screen, and it's about the 5th time this play has utterly failed against this Raiders defense. So I think they want to scrap that play. Here you see David Boston and Eric Allen getting into it. We're talking back and forth, but David Boston, again, he is a physical guy, and he is going to bring the wood, whether he's carrying the ball or blocking.
End over end kick by Stanley. And it rolls across midfield and is down at the 49-yard line. A 39-yard punt. Raiders to the offense when we come back.
By Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Back in Oakland, Kenny Albert with Tim Green and DJ Johnson. Oakland Raiders trailing the Arizona Cardinals 20-7.
Raiders defense certainly set the tone, or at least the Raiders hope they set the tone for this second half with a 3-and-out.
And good field position for the Raiders. They start from their own 49-yard line. Garner looks to bounce it outside and is forced out of bounds by Kwame Lassiter after a gain of 8.
Kenny, you said the Raiders field position. The only time they've scored this game was off of this fumble by Jake Plummer. And a few moments later, this pass by Rich Gannon to Tim Brown, who was uncovered in the end zone. They did that off of excellent field position on turnover. This time, after Jenkins muffed the kick, and then a quick 3-and-out by their defense, the Raiders are in good field position again.
Second and 2 from the Cardinals 43. Garner up the middle for the first down. A gain of 3. Russell Davis made the tackle.
Well, Kenny, you talk about a lack of rhythm and miscues. This is what this very commendable Raiders offense has done so far today. They started out with 4 plays and a punt. Then they had the touchdown after the interception, and then a rare Rich Gannon interception, only his 3rd of the season. Then they had a decent drive, 22 yards, but then the field goal attempt was blocked. And then since then, it's been 3-and-out to end the half.
So their longest drive of the game, only 33 yards. Gannon to the outside. 5th reception of the season for the 4th-year tight end, Jeremy Brigham, for a gain of 6.
I sense right now kind of a, a rumbling of anticipation, because what the Raiders are doing, they're running the ball with Garner. They just threw it to Jeremy Brigham. And now you got to believe that John Gruden is saying to himself, okay, now here we go. Now we unleash our special forces, and that's Tim Brown and Jerry Rice out here on the outside.
They've combined for only 3 receptions so far today. 2 for Brown, 1 for Rice. Garner to the 34-yard line. Rob Frederickson on the stop. No gain on the play.
Well, they went to Garner again, but I think, Kenny, really, look at Rice and Brown today. 3 receptions, 30 yards, and 1 touchdown. And I think this is the time where you get it back into their hands.
Third down and 4. Gannon complete. Jerry Porter fumbles. And Kwame Lassiter scoops it up. The question is, was Porter down by contact? And if so, did he pick up the first down? I think he was shy by about a yard.
I think he was shy, and it looked to me, just in my eyes, that the ground did cause the fumble. Yeah, and so that will most likely
is a fumble recovered by Arizona.
Yeah, that's one the Raiders are going to want to challenge, because while you can't review if it's ruled down by contact, you can review if it wasn't down by contact. Does that make sense? It's not making sense to me. If the whistle blows and they say down by contact, that's not reviewable. This
Oakland
is.
has challenged the ruling on the field, and it is a fumble.
And I think that the officials are going to review. They're only missing Leonard Russell.
After reviewing the play, the ball carrier's arm and elbow hit the ground at the 30.5-yard line, causing the ball to come loose. So the runner is down by contact at that spot. It will be 4th down, short of the line to gain. Oakland is not charged a timeout.
Just as you explained it.
Well, we'll see it again. Here it is. Ball's in his possession. Now he's down. Now the ball's out. So the ball is down right at that spot.
Brown cannot cause a fumble. And Porter stopped about a half-yard shy of the first down marker. So the Raiders will go for it.
Go for it. And absolutely what you want to do. Right behind Steve Wisniewski, I think.
Zach Crockett in the backfield. Makes the handoff. And Crockett is now 6 for 7 this season on 3rd down and 1. He needed about a half yard. He gained 6.
And this is one of the beauties of this Raiders offense. They've got Terry Bradshaw in the pregame is always talking about horses and horse analogies. Zach Crockett is just another horse. They got Charlie Garner. He's a Mustang. Tyrone Wheatley's back. He's a workhorse. Zach Crockett's a Clydesdale. He's just the big guy who gets the short yardage, and then John Ritchie's he's their plow horse. He just opens up holes.
And they also use Terry Kirby and Randy Jordan. Tremendous depth out of the backfield. Garner drops that one. Each of their 6 backs with distinct roles.
Garner is really frustrated with himself. And maybe that play epitomizes what's happened here to the Raiders. I mean, I don't want to take credit away from the Arizona Cardinals defense, but I think as much as the Arizona Cardinals defense has given effort and done a good job, the Raiders have had a lot of miscues.
Garner, big hole up the middle. A gain of 8 yards. As we check in on the Rams and the Falcons with JB. The Rams are usually off to the races.
I know it.
Zach Crockett gains another first down.
Crockett again. And when you want to reestablish yourself and establish the tempo of a game, I think nothing does it like a power run. And here comes Crockett, and he's got tacklers, but he kind of barrels through them. And I think the Raiders' offensive line does a nice job, and John Ritchie does a nice job of blocking up front.
Only the second 3rd down conversion. Raiders now 2 for 7 on 3rd down. 10th play of this drive coming up from the Cardinals 12. Off the play fake. Gannon can't find anyone. Now rolling to his right. And he's out of bounds inside the 5-yard line, a gain of 7.
I think people tend to forget this element of Rich Gannon's play. He's an older quarterback. He's not a guy who has the running ability, like a Donovan McNabb or a Garcia, where you say, he could play running back, but he has an uncanny sense of the field, and he can feel openings in the defense and take advantage of it. It's his sixth sense, I think, that enables him to be such an effective runner. Last year, the #2 rushing quarterback, second only to Dante Culpepper.
Here's Crockett. Crockett forcing his way down to the 1.
And we're seeing power running by the Oakland Raiders. And there's a couple reasons why you power run. One, it gives you time of possession and you're
Zach Crockett. Touchdown. Zach Crockett has carried the ball only 47 times this year. He has scored 6 rushing touchdowns.
Oakland Raiders power run their way into the end zone and close the gap to 6 points.
12-play scoring drive for the Raiders. Their 19th drive of 10 or more plays this season. They have scored on all 19.
And Zach Crockett on that drive had 4 carries for 16 yards. Each of the 4 was for a first down. And then, of course, the touchdown. And Crockett, the Clydesdale, the power runner, the hammer they call him. And I think that is physical intimidation. the Raiders have regained, if not the lead, certainly the emotional momentum in this game.
Janikowski with a booming kickoff, handled at the 2 by Marte Jenkins. Jenkins out to the 25-yard line. A 23-yard return. Johnny Harris made.
The good news for the Arizona Cardinals is the last time the Raiders scored a touchdown, the Cardinals offense answered immediately with a score of their own. Bad news, Leonard Davis, their right guard, in the locker room with back spasms. He's replaced by Chris Dishman.
Cardinals start from their own 24-yard line. Plummer rolling right, complete to the tight end, Terry Hardy. He gains 3 on the play, brought down by Anthony Dorsett. 3 games with a shoulder injury.
Home of the Whopper.
Pittman out to the 27-yard line. Big problems, Tim, for the Cardinals offensive line.
Things have gone from bad to worse. Not only did they lose Leonard Davis, during commercial, Pete Kendall went out, so Grudadaria moves over. Starkey comes in and plays center, and they lost Terry Hardy also, who's a blocking tight end. So the Cardinals, who really were able to take the lead in this game with their running game, now have an incredibly depleted offensive line and an incredibly energized Raiders defense.
And they only have 7 active offensive linemen. Pass is dropped by David Boston, so the Cardinals, for the second time in this third quarter, go 3 and out.
He's got to have a ball he can catch in stride to do it.
David Gunn from the 38. 9-yard return out to the 47.
More good field position for the Raiders.
Only a 36-yard punt by Stanley.
On 6 offensive plays, Raiders took their first possession right down and scored.
Raiders start from the 47-yard line. Gannon to the air on first down, looking for Tim Brown. As we check in with another Brown, James Brown, in Los Angeles.
Remarks about Randy Moss. He was right on. Moss's selfishness is a bad thing for the Vikings and for the game. You know, I was thinking about Chris Collins's remarks because of the kind of receivers that we've got in this game. You know, you've got David Boston and you've got Tim Brown, the receiving leaders, and Jerry Rice, and you have class acts, and you have guys that play team football. And that's really what the game is about. And I think when people act the way Moss has acted, you know, it looks bad for all of us.
And with that loss in Pittsburgh, the Vikings now 4-7. Who would have thunk it?
I think Chris Collinsworth would have thunk it.
Third down and 7. Gannon fires over the middle. It's caught by Jerry Porter, who has more catches today than both Tim Brown and Jerry Rice.
Oh, when you know the game as well as Rich Gannon does, you can even have to call it. You can use hand signals to signal to people. Look at that. He's signaling the play. He's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. He's reading the defense. Look at him. Look at the vision. He sees the whole thing. He finds the opening, and Rich Gannon looks like he's reestablishing his great rhythm.
18-yard pass play from Gannon to Porter. From the Cardinals 32. Garner down to the Arizona 28, a gain of 4. Rob Frederickson made the tackle.
Now we're seeing
2nd and 6. 3 wide receivers, Brown in motion. Gannon pump fakes, throws, looking for Brown, but he overthrows him.
And again, Tommy Knight had outstanding coverage. It was man.
Gannon to the near side, caught by Jerry Rice for a first down. He was forced out, so it's a good catch, a gain of 9. Corey Chavis knocked him out of bounds.
Jerry Rice is the example. He drives Corey Chavis deep. Chavis has no idea, is this a go route or an out? It's an out. And Jerry Rice, Rich Gannon remarked to us yesterday, he said, you know, it's amazing. A guy like this, he's out there a half an hour before everyone. He's out there a half an hour after everyone. He is an incredible example to young players and old players.
Garner bottled up by Fred Wakefield. Couple of penalty flags come in. It's a personal foul, face mask against the Cardinals.
But as we said from the start, the Raiders are an incredibly talented team. And the only way you can beat them
72 offense
is something like
Corey Kirby lined up as a wide receiver. Gannon survey, pass complete to Kirby. Kirby still on his feet. Down to the Cardinals 6. What an effort by Terry Kirby for a gain of 9 yards.
This is a credit to John Gruden as a coach.
Gannon has hit 8 different receivers on his 13 completions today. On second and goal, the fake toss. And Gannon's pass deflected and then picked off by Tom Knight. Second interception today for the Cardinals. Gannon had thrown only 2 all season and a return of 43 yards.
And Rich Gannon is hot right now because just when the Raiders had things going their way, he tossed that ball right into Roland Williams' hands and it just bounces up. Williams served that thing up nicely for Tom Knight. Watch it here. It's a bootleg pass. There's a little hold by Mal Tosi on Roland Williams. And Williams just dishes that up for Tommy Knight. And then Rich Gannon saves a touchdown.
Third career interception for the 5-year veteran. And his first since the '99 season. Michael Pittman out to the 48-yard line. A gain of 5. Cardinals going with that reshuffled offensive line. Pittman into Raiders territory, has the first down, a gain of 6.
Wow, this is all.
Both out of the game. Plummer. Oh, bearing it out. And Boston did not make the catch, but did a nice job keeping it out of the hands of Torrey James. Setting the offensive line, the tackles remain the same. Chris Dishman, the left guard. Starkey, the center. Guidodoria, the right guard. As Plummer's pass is brought in by David Boston at the 33-yard line, a gain of 14.
That is classic Snake. Get a shot on Jake after this play. Look at it here. You know, Plummer just senses it. He can't see it. He just senses it. There's that late hit. Plus, he hits him below the knees. And Upshaw, that's his third roughing the passer penalty on the season.
And it's the Raiders' 6th most in the NFL. So 33 yards on the pass plus the penalty. From the Raiders' 18. Thomas Jones down to the 12-yard line, a gain of 6 before he was brought down by Little Howie. Wow. Chris Cooper. Cooper looks like Howie Long, wears his number. Teammates call him Little Howie. Here's Pittman back in the game. Another penalty flag. Pittman down to the 10-yard line before he was tackled by Charles Woodson. This one's against the Cardinals.
And Leonard Davis out. I think they want to go to the passing game.
Plummer to the air on second and 14. Another penalty flag as the catch is made by David Boston. Takes it down to the 7 for a gain of 15.
We saw David Boston last week against the San Diego Chargers, and they could not cover.
With the Cardinals leading the Raiders by 6. They were on the Arizona 19-yard line, but a big defensive play by the Cardinals.
Oh, it was amazing that the Cardinals hung in there in the red zone, and Tom Knight came up with an interception when the Raiders were ready to take the lead.
Here's Pittman on second and long, working his way down to the 21-yard line for a gain of 6.
When you think about it, Raiders just snatched the momentum in the second half. Their defense looked great. They scored a touchdown. They were driving to score a second touchdown when this pass bounced off of Roland Williams' hands, and Tommy Knight returned it and gave Jake Plummer excellent field position. Since then, it's been some nice runs by Thomas Jones, but a couple of costly penalties by Arizona.
Plummer on 3rd and 13. The pass is caught by Jenkins, but he's about 6 yards shy of the marker, so the Cardinals send out the field goal unit.
Well, Kenny, I said right from the beginning of this game, Raiders, they're 8-2. Many people's favorites to, certainly Howie Long's, to win the AFC. Cardinals struggling, but on a 2-game win streak. Lots of injuries, but the Cardinals needed a letdown by the Raiders and turnovers, and so far they've gotten that, and that's why they're still in this game very much with the lead.
And Gramatica connects from 33, so he is now 3 for 3 today and has connected on 11 in a row.
By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And by Sega Sports.
John Gruden's Raiders trailing the Cardinals by 9. As Gramatica's kickoff taken at the 13-yard line by Kirby. Brings it out to the 33, a 20-yard return. Well, a hot topic over the last couple of weeks, the coaching situation at Notre Dame, and it was reported earlier that Bob Davie has been let go as Fighting Irish head coach, and John Gruden's name has circulated among the rumors throughout the sporting media.
That certainly wouldn't surprise me. John Gruden grew up in South Bend. His dad was a coach at Notre Dame, and he described the possibility of going back there as chilling. But he also describes coaching for the Silver and Black here in Oakland as chilling, an emotional experience.
From the 33, Gannon to Rice. And when we asked Gruden about those rumors yesterday, he said, well, they have a coach, I have a job. Half of that may have changed.
That's right. They no longer have a coach. Of course, John Gruden certainly has a job. He has 1 year left on his contract after this, and I would presume that, as Howie Long said in the pregame, the Raiders need to just go ahead and try to sign him to a contract, a long-term contract, immediately.
He has 1 year remaining on his deal following this season. Here's Tim Brown on the end around. Forced out of bounds by Kwame Lassiter at the Cardinals 39, a gain of 19 yards.
Well, we saw a throw to Jerry Rice, and now we're seeing the ball in Tim Brown's hands. And I think that's a good decision by the Raiders. Get the ball in their stars' hands. And the other thing we saw on that play is Jerry Rice blocking the stuffing out of Corey Chavis. Look at this block. Look at the tenacity there by Jerry Rice, who's 39 years old. But as I said from the start, this guy's found the fountain of youth. He's playing his best football in 5 years.
Gannon on first down to Brown. Rich Gannon told us yesterday, Tim, that in his 17th NFL season, Jerry Rice feels like he can still improve.
Yeah, amazing work ethic. And if you're a Raiders fan, you have to like what they're doing now. It's like, just stop messing around and get the ball back into Tim Brown's hands, Jerry Rice's hands. Let Rich Gannon do what he does so well.
Only 3 receptions apiece for both Brown and Rice. On the Cardinals 28, Tyrone Wheatley down to the 22-yard line for a gain of 6.
Charlie Gardner out on the sideline catching a rest. Kirby's there. Jordan, you see the stable, if you will, of Raiders running backs. And again, I think it's a real tribute to not only John Gruden for the way he mixes in all these talented guys, but to Rich Gannon, who really is the star, but is perfectly willing to share the accolades with the players around him. He does not draw attention to himself.
Gannon, pump fakes, throws, Brown! What a catch for a touchdown! His second of the game. 22 yards from Gannon to Tim Brown.
It's like I said, just stop messing around and do what you do so well. Let your top-rated quarterback throw to your Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame receivers.
Janikowski adds the point after early fourth quarter. The Raiders pull within 2. Tim Brown, the focal point of the Raiders scoring drive.
2 big catches and a big run on the reverse for the great Tim Brown. Once again, you feel the momentum shifting to the Raiders' side, even though the Cardinals have a 2-point lead.
Derek Gibson, the hit on Marte Jenkins, 18-yard return.
Well, Kenny, it was really the running game, the revitalized running game that sets this up, because the Cardinals have got 8 men in the box, and that means Corey Chavis is man-to-man with Tim Brown. He does a fine job. His coverage is excellent, but the ball is perfectly thrown, and Tim Brown makes a fantastic catch. Look at it here. Chavis, look how close he is, and it's almost as if he says, how could Tim Brown have caught that ball?
Raiders outgaining the Cardinals in the second half by nearly a 4-1 margin. Plummer airing it out. Looking for Boston, another flag. Eric Allen with the coverage on David Boston.
That would be his 4th if in fact it is on Eric Allen. And the Raiders want that ruled as an uncatchable ball. I don't think they're going to get it.
Pass interference, 21 defense. Automatic first down.
Well, I said David Boston has not been able, they've not been able to shut him down. And they've not. It was pretty clear that Allen impeded David Boston on that play.
He's now drawn 9 pass interference penalties, 3 today, and 6 coming in. Thomas Jones into Raiders territory. A gain of 6 as we check in with James Brown.
Kenny and Tim, no matter how bad Dallas may be, they always seem to have Washington's number. Take a look at Quincy Carter tossing his first touchdown pass of his career, a 64-yarder to Rocket Ismail, and Dallas has moved in front of Washington by the score of 17-7 now. Back to Kenny and Tim.
Well, JB, we've got another upset brewing here. Every time the Raiders answer, the Cardinals seem to come right back.
2nd and 4, and Jones is hit in the backfield by Darrell Russell for a loss of 2.
And we said it all game long. Darrell Russell has the ability to be as good as he wants to be. Watch him penetrate here, and it's almost like cheating. He's so good. He's so quick. He's so big. He's so strong. But again, this may be Darrell Russell's last game for a year. Maybe his last game as a Raider. And who knows, maybe his last game of his career. He may be suspended for a year for substance abuse violation.
Boston makes the catch, but Charles Woodson was right there.
Kenny, we've said all season long that you need big players to make big plays. Charles Woodson's a big player, and we've seen David Boston run through many of these tackles. Woodson does an outstanding job of hanging on and bringing a very big, very strong man to the ground.
Tim Brown, for the first time, back deep. Fair catch called for at the 18-yard line, a 33-yard punt by Stanley.
Grady Jackson, the big young Raiders defensive tackle, told us yesterday, we like to watch our offense. We like to have them go up and down the field and let us rest up, and then when we come in, we can play all out.
He said, we like to watch the best show in town. Gannon hits Tim Brown for a gain of 7.
And again, they're going right back to what they do so well. Rich Gannon back in a rhythm. He was 3 for 3 on the last touchdown drive, and he looks like he's doing it again.
He's completed 6 of his last 7 overall. The only miscue, the Tom Knight interception.
There's that hand signal where he changes the play.
On 2nd and 3, Knight comes up to make the tackle on Charlie Garner. No gain on the play.
You know, Kenny, I love Rich Gannon, and I call him an anachronism, kind of a guy from a different time, and that's like a throwback. He identifies not with Kenny Stabler, but with Jim Plunkett. And he has this old school humility where he's allowed Jerry Rice and Tim Brown to take a lot of the attention, and then he's got his own personal time machine. Back in Minneapolis, he's got a warehouse where he has a rebuilt model of a 1930s gas station, antique cars. That's where he goes to just hang out with his friends, back in time.
Gannon hopes to keep this drive alive. But the pass intended for Roland Williams.
Roland dished up the interception to Tommy Knight when the Raiders were looking to go ahead 21-20. And here on a critical 3rd down conversion, Williams drops an easy pass.
Shane Leckler's punt taken at the 31 by Arnold Jackson. Jackson had the 55-yard return earlier, takes this one into Raiders territory.
Now I see why they call him the water bug.
21 yards on that return by the water bug.
Remarkable that the Arizona Cardinals still have the lead in this game. They're missing both their starting guards. They're missing their tight end, but they continue to move the ball, to drive down, to pick up points. And then defensively, they've had injuries all year, and they just keep scrapping away against this vaunted Raiders team.
Looking to win their 3rd straight. The inside handoff to the fullback, Joel Makovica.
Wow.
His first carry of the season.
You gotta be kidding.
Late penalty flag after a 19-yard pickup.
And we've talked about at halftime about the total effort from this Cardinals team. They've been getting yardage from everyone.
Face mask, 5 yards, number 21 defense. Result of the play, 1st down.
Boy, Eric Allen's had a tough day.
It's just a little dive play. Watch it here. It's a reverse pivot by Jake. No one thinks that Makovica's got the ball, and Makovica actually puts a move on Marquez Pope. I think Marquez Pope was so surprised that the fullback had the ball in this offense that it startled him into missing a tackle.
And then Eric Allen has been called for 3 pass interference penalties today. 4. Called for a 5-yard face mask. Here's Pittman. Well, remember the one time we thought pass interference would be called, it was actually holding on the linebacker.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
But how about Joel Makovica, the fullback, in game 11? He carries the ball for the first time all season, and he gained 19 yards.
Yeah, and he really, and single-handedly, Makovica puts them into field goal range. But Darrell Russell, again, for, I don't know, the 3rd or 4th time this game, just burst into the backfield and made a tackle in the run game for a loss.
Good pickup.
Terrific pickup by Plummer. Cardinals did not have anyone lined up on the right side, so Plummer, instead of taking the penalty, calls timeout. Big Plummer saved Arizona from taking the penalty right here.
Well, this is a huge drive for the Cardinals. It's enormous for them. Because obviously if they can score a touchdown now, they put a tremendous amount of pressure on the Raiders. They've got confusion in the Raiders' defensive backfield.
Plummer on 2nd and 12, incomplete, looking for Michael Pittman.
Wow, that was some adjustment by Marquez Pope. That was some adjustment. There was confusion, and Pope had to come up at the last second. Watch this here. Watch Pope. Look at him blitz up here at the last second, and he has the awareness to pick up the coverage there on the back. and it's that coverage that forces Plummer to throw that ball over Michael Pittman's head. That's great reaction by Marquez.
3 for 10 on 3rd downs are the Cardinals.
There's the blitz. Look out for the snake. Oh, they got him.
Taken down back at the 30-yard line. Reagan Upshaw, who had 2 sacks last week.
Jake is saying that he was grabbed by the face mask. There's coverage downfield. Here's Eric Allen, who's struggled today on Marte Jenkins. He covers him perfectly. And there's the coverage by Torrey James on Boston. And by the time Boston springs free, there's just too much pressure on Jake Plummer.
Gramatica 3 for 3 today. He's made 11 straight. His season long is 50. This a 48-yard attempt.
No good.
No good. Wide to the left. So Gramatica's streak ends of 11 straight field goals. More importantly, the Raiders trail by only 2, and they get the ball back with 5.5 to play. Their own 38. Charlie Garner, 6-yard pickup out to the 44-yard line.
So, Kenny, 2 big defensive plays by the Raiders. Darrell Russell with his tackle in the backfield, and then the sack by Reagan Upshaw to put Gramatica just out of field goal range, and he just missed the kick.
Yeah, loss of 4 on that sack, so a potential 44-yard field goal became a 48-yard attempt, and Gramatica missed wide left. 5 minutes to play. Cardinals lead by 2. Gannon back on 2nd and 5. Can't find anyone. Takes off and has the first down out at midfield.
That is the dreaded danger of Rich Gannon. This is the 23rd game in a row where he has rushed for a first down. And it'll be his 16th running first down on the season. I mean, it's so frustrating as a defender that there was coverage downfield that constricted the pocket, but Gannon just uses that savvy sixth sense to get a first down.
First down from midfield. Gannon to Rice. Another Oakland first down. Corey Chavis wrestled him out of bounds, but not before a gain of 12 yards.
Well, this has become a consistent play for the Oakland Raiders. It's just a short crossing pattern. Gannon dumps it off to Jerry Rice, and Rice does the rest. John Gruden bristled a little bit yesterday when I suggested that maybe they weren't the vertical passing game of old, of the Raiders of old, didn't he?
They went vertical many times last week.
Well, he did throw it to Roland Williams.
And Williams made the catch.
He made a nice catch.
For a gain of 3 yards.
And that was an important catch for Roland Williams to make, because he dished up an interception and then he dropped the third down conversion. And on this there, he had to stretch out. And I think not only did he catch the ball, he recaptured Rich Gannon's confidence in him.
Second catch of the day for the former St. Louis Ram. Under 4 minutes to play. Second down and 6. Gannon with loads of time, fires, and the pass is caught for another first down by Jerry Porter, his 4th catch of the afternoon.
And you feel the Arizona defense are caught between a rock and a hard place. They only rush 3. They try to drop 8 men, and they do drop 8 men back into coverage. But gosh, it's just too much time for Rich Gannon to sit back there, and he has too much patience, and he has too quick a delivery and accurate a throw to not take advantage of that defense.
Gannon now 8 of 9 in the 4th quarter. Play clock winding down. Raiders get the snap away. Gannon goes across the field, and despite being tied up by Ronald McKinnon, Tyrone Wheatley made the catch for a gain of 10.
Oh, wow. When a play like that happens to you, you know things aren't going your way. Russell Davis just misses Gannon, and then McKinnon's got the coverage. But Tyrone Wheatley does a fantastic job of keeping his eyes on the ball and bringing it in.
So a 3:04 to play. First and goal from the Arizona 10. Wheatley up the middle, down to the 7-yard line for a gain of 3.
Kenny, this is where this Arizona Cardinals defense has had a lot of success over the past couple of weeks. We've seen them today have success in the red zone. One time they held the Raiders, and then the Raiders missed a field goal. Another time, the Raiders were deep down, and they came up with a Tommy Knight interception. But the Raiders, again, are one of the best in the league, in the game, at offense in this red zone.
Second and goal, 8-yard line. Gannon looking end zone. Hangs on to the football and is taken down at the 6-yard line by Tom Knight after a gain of 2. As the clock winds down all the way to the 2-minute warning. Arizona Cardinals 23, Oakland Raiders 21. Third and goal from the 6 upcoming. 2 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Raiders trailing by 2. Third and goal on the Cardinals 6. Gannon looking end zone. Can't find anyone, steps out of bounds at the 6-yard line.
Raiders ran the same play that Tim Brown scored the first touchdown on. This time, the Arizona Cardinals had it picked up. Watch Adrian Wilson here. Remember Tim Brown snuck out there in the first quarter? But Adrian Wilson is right there, and they've got the coverage this time. And Rich Gannon is forced to eat it when Marcus Bell brings on the heat.
Janikowski's only prior attempt was blocked. This time, he connects from 24 yards, giving the Raiders their first lead since 7-0.
And Rich Gannon has been 9 for 10 with 89 yards and a touchdown in the fourth quarter here today.
Jake Plummer, the king of the fourth quarter comebacks, as the Cardinals find themselves trailing by a point with 1:47 remaining.
Drive 10 plays, 56 yards, 3 minutes 43 seconds.
Well, Rich Gannon started this game off slowly, but he has really come on in this second half and been very sharp.
Raiders led early 7-0. Cardinals scored 20 consecutive points. Arizona led 23-14 earlier in this fourth quarter. Cardinals with only one timeout remaining. Short kickoff by Janikowski, taken by Marcel Shipp. Stepped in front of Jenkins and brings it back to the 30, a 12-yard return.
Tackled by Randy Jordan. Also Johnny Harris on the tackle.
So the Cardinals with 1:42 on the clock.
Well, here's where the Raiders defense has got to work very hard and focus very hard on David Boston. Coming into this game, Boston had more receiving yards than any player in the National Football League. He's had 5 catches today for 56 yards. And he's drawn numerous pass interference penalties.
3 wide receivers, and Michael Pittman drops it.
What did I say the last time they ran a screen? It was the 6th time or the 5th time. This time it's the 7th or the 8th, and it has not worked once. Jake's under pressure from the blitz. And although Michael Pittman has made some outstanding plays today, he has not made a play on the screen.
Cardinals need to gain about 40 yards to get into field goal range for
Once again,
Gramatica.
Kenny.
And Plummer's pass is caught by Marte Jenkins at midfield for a gain of 20 yards.
This play epitomizes why Jake Plummer has 15 come-from-behind victories in his career. He slithers out from underneath the blitz. He buys himself time, and he delivers the ball very accurately downfield to a wide-open Marte Jenkins.
Jenkins' 5th catch of the game. First and 10 from midfield. Plummer looking for Boston, just out of his reach.
Charles Woodson did just enough on this play and the coverage to disrupt David Boston. And I think with the trouble that Eric Allen has had on David Boston, they'd be well advised to keep Woodson on it. It's just enough position to force David Boston to hesitate. And that hesitation kept Boston just out of reach of Jake Plummer's pass. And there's Woodson going with him right now. It's exactly what you want to do. Keep your best player locked up on their best player. But he beat him.
David Boston.
He beat him clean.
Boston takes it in. 50-yard touchdown pass from Plummer to Boston, and the Cardinals are back on top.
David Boston burned Charles Woodson worse than toast. It was black and smoking. It was ugly. Burnt, watch it here. He just puts the juke on him at the line of scrimmage, accelerates away, and then blows right through Anthony Dorsett, who's the safety in the middle of the field.
With a 5-point lead, Tim, the Cardinals will go for 2.
That's another thing I love about David Boston. He doesn't celebrate by himself with some kind of fancy dance. He celebrates with his teammates. He's a team player.
He goes over the 100-yard mark for the 7th time this season in 11 games.
You know, we talked about Woodson being burned. Let me at least qualify it. Woodson has not practiced over the last couple weeks. He's got a bad turf toe, and he has to inject it just to play.
Plummer takes it in for the 2-point conversion.
Wow. So we saw the snake elude the rush and find Marte Jenkins. And then we saw the snake deliver an excellent pass, and David Boston just physically outrun the Raiders defense. And now we see the snake again slithering. Here's the touchdown pass. Boston burns Woodson on the line of scrimmage, runs through Anthony Dorsett like he's not there, and celebrates with his teammates. And a huge 2-point conversion. A huge 2-point conversion by the Snake to give Arizona a 7-point lead.
A 4-play, 70-yard drive. It took 29 seconds.
I said, Kenny, they've not been able to cover Boston all day long. They put their best player on him in Charles Woodson, and their best just was not good enough.
Raiders have all 3 of their timeouts. Kirby from the 1. Penalty marker, Kirby out to the 38-yard line. 37-yard return. Zach Walls brought him down. It's against the Raiders.
Holding. During the return, number 28. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Randy Jordan, the guilty Raider. So Oakland trails by 7 after they took the lead on a field goal with 1:52 to play. And they will start from their own 22-yard line with all 3 of their timeouts.
They are far from out of this one with 3 timeouts, with Tim Brown, with Jerry Rice, with Rich Gannon, and an offensive line to give Gannon the time.
Gannon on first down overthrows Jerry Porter, who came into the game with only 9 receptions on the season. Today has 5 for 63 yards.
There's Rich Gannon telling Jerry Porter, you're supposed to get depth, because Porter pulled up short.
Second and 10 from the 22. Gannon bounces one in front of Charlie Garner. We welcome those of you who watched the Washington Redskins 5-game win streak come to an end. Kenny Albert, Tim Green, DJ Johnson in Oakland, where the Arizona Cardinals, looking for their 3rd straight victory, lead the Raiders 31-24 with under a minute to play. Jake Plummer hitting David Boston for a 51-yard go-ahead touchdown pass just moments ago. 3rd and 10 for Rich Gannon and the Raiders, and the pass is caught for a first down by Jerry Rice.
Kenny, those of you who have not seen this go-ahead touchdown, watch David Boston. He just burns Charles Woodson on the line. He runs through Anthony Dorsett, the free safety, and accelerates downfield for that go-ahead score. And then Jake the Snake slithers in on this quarterback draw for the 2-point conversion. But as we can see, Rich Gannon and the Raiders are on the move, and they've got 3 timeouts left.
The screen to Charlie Garner into Arizona Cardinals territory. Knocked out of bounds with 48 seconds remaining. Cardinals led 20-7 at the half. Gannon has thrown 2 interceptions after throwing 2 all season coming into the game. And you see the numbers on both quarterbacks.
Raiders offensively exploded here in the second half, not only in the air but on the ground. And it was that Tommy Knight interception that really kept the Arizona Cardinals alive with the lead.
Quick drop, and the pass bobbled, and Jerry Porter, who has 5 receptions today, could not hold on to it.
Well, Kenny, we said at the very beginning of this game that the Cardinals, who are outmanned by this Raiders team that everyone's talking about, had to have a couple things happen. They had to have an emotional letdown by the Raiders, and I think they had it. Arizona's been able to get 132 yards on the ground. And then they had to have turnovers, and they've had those. Oakland with 2 interceptions today, and as you said, that's as many as they've had the rest of the entire season.
Gannon with loads of time, complete to Jerry Rice. Out of bounds inside the 10, forced out by Kwame Lassiter, a gain of 36.
We said it after that last Arizona score. This great Raiders offense has too many weapons, and Rich Gannon has too much time. Jerry Rice is still Jerry Rice.
His 6th catch of the afternoon.
But this red zone area is a place where the Arizona defense has hung tough all day.
Gannon throws it away, could not find anyone.
Again, that's good pressure on Rich Gannon by a revamped Cardinals defensive line. They've lost numerous players throughout the season. Fred Wakefield's had a big game. He blocked the field goal. We've seen him put pressure on Rich Gannon today. Marcus Bell, Baron Tanner, Russell Davis, they've all given a fantastic effort.
Second and goal from the 10. Gannon's pass was deflected and nearly intercepted by Tom Knight in the end zone.
Tommy Knight almost did it off and sealing the win for the Arizona Cardinals.
Raiders need a touchdown. Field goal would not help. Third and goal. Gannon rolling right.
There's pressure.
And Gannon takes it out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Fourth and goal upcoming with 15 seconds on the clock.
And again, it's Gannon's craftiness and running ability that bring them within 2 yards. Scoring offense today to 24 points. It all comes down to this play.
Gannon to the end zone. Jerry Rice makes the catch for the touchdown.
Just classic Jerry Rice. It's a timing play. Rice just drives the coverage deep, turns back around, the ball is delivered perfectly. That's what happens when you're the first guy to practice and the last guy to leave.
Janikowski for the point after. We are tied at 31 with 12 seconds remaining.
He's been extraordinary, but Jake Plummer and David Boston have been extraordinary as well.
Kickoff taken by Marcel Shipp, the rookie out of UMass. And Shipp takes it out to the 46-yard line. A 24-yard return.
Still been able to score points and move the ball down the field, mostly throwing it, mostly to David Boston.
Final play of regulation, barring a defensive penalty. Pass batted down by Eric Allen. So we are headed for overtime. Straight. Raiders won the toss, so Gramatica kicks off. And Terry Kirby takes a knee 7 yards deep in the end zone. So the Raiders will start from their own 20-yard line here in overtime.
Down the field.
They start from the 20. A 9-yard pickup on the first play as Gannon hits Charlie Garner.
I think they only a turnover, an interception by Gannon, and some penalties that slowed this offense down at all.
Tyrone Wheatley with Zach Crockett leading the way, picks up 2 yards for a Raider first down out to the 31. 3 wide receivers. From the 31. Gannon pump fakes, pulls it in, and is taken down after a gain of 1 by Fred Wakefield.
And this is outstanding. He epitomizes this Cardinals defense. It's total effort. We've seen it all day long.
2nd and 9. Gannon to Wheatley. Taken down at the 38 after a gain of 5.
And again, it's
for a first down. Gannon to the near side for Garner. And it looks like he may be about a half-yard shy of the marker.
Wow. Excellent tackle by Tommy Knight. And we've seen, despite Jerry Rice catching the tying touchdown against Knight, he's had good coverage today as well.
So on 4th and 1, Shane Leckler with an end-over-end punt. So the Cardinals will have their first opportunity here in overtime. Penalty flag on the field. It's against the Raiders. First and 10 from the 23. Plummer's pass is in and out of the hands of David Boston.
And David
Plummer from the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Plummer to Marte Jenkins at the 43-yard line for a gain of 20 and a Cardinals first down.
This is what you have. 6 catches for 90 yards.
First and 10 from the 43. Plummer to the outside. Arnold Jackson. And he's tackled by Charles Woodson after a gain of...
May be facing a suspension for a year. He has an appeal Thursday for testing positive for ecstasy.
Pittman gains 3 yards, and as we mentioned earlier, Russell was already...
He's given this team, if nothing else, a very viable deep passing game.
3 wide receivers set, and the play is blown dead.
Prior to the snap, false start, 70 off it, 5 yards.
That'll make him a complete quarterback.
Following the penalty, 3rd down and 11. Plummer takes off, and he slides about 4 yards shy of the marker. Gain of 7, but he needed 11.
You almost have to think.
That's Stanley. And David Dunn lost the football. Ball for the fair catch and then dove.
That was a risky move by Dunn.
Cardinals say they have
They
it.
may.
No indication yet from the officials.
I think they may have it, Kenny. They're starting to signal.
Officials trying to get to the bottom of the pile. And it is Cardinals football.
David Dunn tries to go too far, too fast to make this fair catch, and that ball just rolls right out of there. And there are 3 Cardinals there against 1 Raider to fight for this ball underneath the pile. Because I will promise you this, when you're under that pile, you're going to try to pull it away. You're going to fight and scrap, and it doesn't matter even if the other guy on the other team has it. LeVar Woods took it away. And if there's enough bodies on top, the officials can't see it. They can't see you stealing the ball from the other team.
A huge turnover.
Fantastic effort by this Cardinals team all day long. Offense, defense, special teams against this heralded Raiders team that came into this game 8-2.
Michael Pittman gains 5 yards down to the Raiders 20. Another opportunity perhaps. 2nd and 5 from the 20. Pittman down to the 18-yard line, a gain of 2.
Here comes Gramatica. He was in this situation last week, as you said, Kenny, against the San Diego Chargers.
And his brother, Martin, kicked the game-winning field goal today in overtime for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Cincinnati.
Well, we saw Gramatica miss one earlier today. His career long is 50.
Well, the Chargers iced him last week, and now the Raiders will try and do the same. Last week in San Diego, Gramatica hit the game winner with 1 second remaining, and for his efforts, he was named the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. In fact, his brother Martin was...
They've had 3. None of them more costly than David Dunn's muff on the kick.
Leading to this 36-yard attempt for Gramatica, the rookie from South Florida. And he wins it for the Cardinals for the 2nd straight week. He does a somersault. He's mobbed by his teammates. So after brother Martin kicked an overtime game winner for the Buccaneers earlier, Bill does it here in Oakland for the Cardinals' third consecutive victory.
Going on now features David Hum, Artie Gigantino, George Atkinson.